Hi everyone, it's Agnieszka Murdoch from 5 Minute Language. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. So today's video is about Christmas present ideas for language learners. So Christmas is coming up, so I thought I'd put together a nice list of ideas for things that you can buy for a language learner if you know one, or things that you can actually treat yourself to if you want to treat yourself this Christmas. I'm going to share with you some ideas for courses, resources, and various other things that language learners will enjoy this Christmas. So to make this video, I have actually partnered up with a brand called Wander and Explore, and they are basically the people behind the first item on my list of ideas, which is a beautiful scratch-off map that you can use to track your travel. And I'm going to explain in a second why I've chosen to feature this product and why I've made it the first product on my list. But let me first just show you a picture of the map so you know what it looks like. So here it is. It's called the Wanderlust scratch-off map, and it's basically a beautiful map of the world which is covered in gold foil, as you can see, that you can scratch off once you've visited a country. Here's an example of what it looks like when it's not been scratched yet. So here's a picture of Europe. I could probably scratch off a few places on this map. So once you've scratched off the foil, this will basically reveal beautiful, vivid colors, and you will be creating your own travel map. So the reason I've chosen to feature this map is because it's actually quite difficult to get language learning resources or courses or materials for other people, because you never know what language level they're at. You never know whether they've got a particular resource or textbook or dictionary. So this is just a kind of universal present idea that any language learner will enjoy. So like I said, this map can be used for tracking your travel, but also for tracking the languages that you're learning. So I would personally use it for tracking my languages. So for example, if I'm learning French and I feel like I can have a conversation in French now, I can always scratch off the countries where French is spoken. So the cool thing is that Wander and Explore are actually offering a 20% off discount on this beautiful map. So I'm going to link a page down below in the description box, so make sure you check it out. You go to that page, you get your discount code, and then you can enter it on the Amazon page, which I'm also going to link to in the description box. So the only other thing I'm going to say about the map is that it fits a 24 by 36 inch frame, but it's actually recommended that you get a magnetic frame so that you don't have to kind of keep removing the map from the frame when you want to scratch additional countries off. And hopefully you will be traveling a lot, or the person who will get this gift will be traveling a lot in 2020, so they will be able to just kind of scratch it off whilst it's still in the frame. So just a little suggestion. Okay, so let's move on to the next idea on my list, which is flashcards. So flashcards are basically little cards that language learners use to learn vocabulary, phrases, words in the language they're learning. So you can do it in two different ways. You can either get pre-made flashcards for the language somebody's learning, or you can give them the materials so they can produce their own flashcards. So one company that makes really nice flashcards for language learning is Flashsticks. This is not a sponsored part of the video. I can definitely recommend this brand, even though we're not working together at the moment. Believe me, they produce really nicely made sets of flashcards. So they obviously have the more kind of like basic languages like French, Spanish, German, but they also have British Sign Language, which is quite nice. So the flashcards can basically be used in a traditional way, where you've got the word in the language you're learning on one side, and then on the other side you've got a translation. And then you basically look at the words, the translation, and you learn that way. You can also use flashcards to attach them to objects around your house, so that every time you see that object, you remember the word for it. So the next thing I'm going to recommend to you is planners. So planners of all sorts are a great idea for language learners, because if you're learning a language and you're serious about it, if you want to stay motivated, if you want to track your progress effectively, you need a planner. You need something physical where you record your learning. And I said physical because personally that's what I would recommend. I would recommend a physical notebook. And the reason for that is, personally, I find that when I write something by hand, the language, the knowledge that I'm learning, the skills stick more effectively. So the two planners I want to recommend to you are, the first one is called the Productivity Planner, Again, this is not a sponsored part of the video. It's a planner that I've been using for organizing my life and my work and my business, but also for organizing language learning. It's got a really nice hardback cover, and then inside it's got sections for recording the most important thing of the day, then 2 other kind of things that would be nice to do, and then other things, so you don't end up with like a massive to-do list. So it's a really nice planner. I definitely recommend it as a present. The other planner I want to mention to you is called the Motivation Journal, which is something that I've created for language learners to help them stay motivated and to be able to track their progress. So while the productivity planner is just a general productivity planner, the Motivation Journal is specifically designed for language learning. You will have different sections in the planner where you will be able to record things that went well, things that didn't go so well, things that you're focusing on. And there are some nice motivation quotes included as well. So I'm going to link that down below as well. Make sure you check it out. So the next 2 ideas on my list of present ideas for language learners are 2 language courses from the 5-Minute Language School. The first one is called Language Learner Pro, and it's about how to learn foreign languages effectively. It's for learners of any language at any level. So that's why it's a good present idea, because you don't have to know exactly at what level the person you're buying for is. And the next course is called the Vocab Club Premium, and it's also a course by the 5-Minute Language School, and it's basically a course about vocabulary learning techniques. So how do you learn words in a foreign language to make sure they stick, to make sure you don't forget them, and to be able to use them in context. So I'm going to offer you a 20% discount on those 2 courses as well. So make sure you check out the links in the description as well. So the next section of this video is about books, and I would definitely recommend that if you know somebody's language level, that you get them real novels. So that's something that I would recommend for sort of upper intermediate and advanced learners. So if you know that somebody is doing pretty well with their language learning, I definitely recommend that you just get them a novel or a non-fiction book in the language they're learning. If they're below that level, so if they're maybe a pre-intermediate or intermediate learner, then I would recommend simplified novels. So that's basically books that have been simplified specifically for that level. So if you don't know the level of the person, then maybe skip this idea. But if you do, then either choose real novels or simplified novels for them. You can also get them a book which talks about language learning techniques. So one book that I can definitely recommend is Benny Lewis, Fluent in 3 Months. So this is a book about how to learn languages effectively, all the different strategies that Benny has used to learn foreign languages, to learn many foreign languages. So make sure you check it out as well if you want to get your friend or family member something that will teach them how to learn languages effectively. And then finally, if you don't want to get them the scratch-off map that I mentioned at the start, or the courses, or the books that I've mentioned, if you just want to get them something pretty for the house, or something that they will be able to carry around with them, that will remind them of their language learning passion, then I definitely recommend some of the things that Lindsay from Lindsay Does Languages has on her page, which includes things like notebooks, phone cases, tote bags, I think laptop cases as well, all sorts of different things that basically have really nice designs on them, and they are themed specifically for language learning. So I'm going to link that in the description box down below. Make sure you check it out. Okay, so these are my best ideas for Christmas presents for language learners. I hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget that you can get 20% off the Wanderlust scratch-off map, and also 20% off the courses I mentioned from the 5-Minute Language School. Make sure you check the description below. And I'll see you next time. Bye!